personality plays a bigger role than your skill level. Your first 100 tries are going to suck, so hurry up and get them out of the way. If it's a situation where it is mission critical and you think you're not ready, ask people that have done it already.
Let's get into some numbers.
So in terms of pricing, when I just started out, I was very hesitant. Funny thing about that is that landed us a commercial for almost $4 million.
What brand is the worst to work with?
All right, welcome back to the Bitrate podcast. Today is a little bit different. We're doing things a little bit different, switching it up on you. We have a guest today, Kavan, the man, the myth, the legend from Kinematics. And we're going to talk business. We're going to talk how he's built what he's built, and where he sees himself in the next 5-10 years. And we're going to vibe. So, Kavan, introduce yourself, sir.
All right, well, no, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Kavan Lower-Smith, videographer and the founder of Kinematics Studios. I've been doing this for about 8 years. I have 8 years of experience at the age of 26. So I've been working from high school.
All right, and speaking of high school, you're an Arden man.
Yeah.
Big up yourself.
Yeah. Wait, you went to Arden too?
Yeah.
Oh, I was actually the deputy head boy when I was there.
Yeah, I was the one you were probably chasing around giving trouble in the school.
How older than you?
No, I think I'd have been ahead. I think I graduated 2010.
Oh, yeah. If you graduated 2010, I went to Arden 2011.
yeah. So a few years apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I mean, Arden changed a bit since I left.
Who was the principal when you were there?
Tyson.
I
let me put
Tyson.
some manners on Miss Tyson. One of the greats. In fact, Miss Tyson always help you build the vocabulary. There's always a word she's going to teach you. Some 18 syllable word. But anyways, we're not talking about words. We're talking about video production. So you, like you said, you've been in the industry for probably about 10 years.
About 8. Well, 8, officially
going on
8.
10.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's almost 10.
And you started, I assume, like most people start solo, and now you've built a production company.
Yeah, so for the most part, I was doing freelance. For most of those 8 years, I was doing freelance. So that is, clients come directly to me. I do everything. I shoot, edit, answer emails, every single thing.
You do everything. You do everything but sleep.
But sleep, yeah. So I was head cook and bottle washer. So I did everything but sleep, but get proper rest. For most of that time, actually, I'd say 5 out of the 8 years.
Okay. And so for the last, 3 years, you started building a team?
Yeah, so for the past 3 years, I kind of realized that I can't do it myself. Like, if I want to be at the scale that I want to be, I have to find people that you can trust, people that you can delegate tasks to, people that can take things off of your plate. And so for the past 3 years, we've been growing from just me, myself, to have about 8 persons on the team now.
Wicked.
9 if you count our part-time accountant.
Well, we'll count the part-time accountant.
9 people.
So, God, that's you get in trouble if you don't have that,
Yeah, that is something we're going to get into that later.
I kind of learned the hard way. But anyways, all right. So, when you came to the realization that, hey, can't do it all myself, what was the first role you sought to offload some of your workload?
First role I had was an editor, actually, because I think at that point post-production was what we were getting the most of, because I would have a lot of links with videographers and they really came to me for editing, because that's what I was known for. So my first hire was another editor to take off some of the load off of me, especially for like those bigger shoots that you probably go, a one-day shoot and you get like 10 videos.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to go edit 10 videos yourself. So I got an editor. Was the first role I had.
Yeah, I'm in that grind right now because it's like, imagine you're up all night, because I know you do a lot of entertainment events and so on. Up all night, I shoot the entertainment event, and you know how media state need to be. Like, they want it now, right? They want the video in the morning so they can, promote and get hype and so on. But imagine you shoot all night and then you have to just go home and go straight onto the laptop and get cranking.
I've had multiple days and nights like that where it's just non-stop. And there was a kind of mindset shift when I started hiring people where I don't have to grind 24/7 to be successful.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, when you just started, you need that momentum. You need to build up that kind of snowball for it to get moving. But at this point, it's become so big that it's moving on its own. Even the other day we're doing something inside the studio, inside the office, and there were just multiple people doing multiple things. So like so in the editing room, there were people editing, and then the production manager was sorting out a call with a client, and then our business partner and a model was inside the studio doing a headshot shoot.
Wicked.
Just like, yo, if somebody came right now, they think says a big thing.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
something
yeah.
clicking, and I'm like,
It
yo,
is.
it is a big
It
thing.
is. Yeah. You're there.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know you still have
There's
aspirations
more
for growth
to
and
go,
so on.
but yeah.
But I know, like, 5 years ago, you would be looking at this guy like, who is this man? I run production company.
Yeah, you know, actually, I had a full-time job 5 years ago. Same in production. I worked at a marketing company. And in that interview, they asked me where I see myself in 5 years. And I said, owning my own business.
Wicked.
So at that time, I was doing both. I was doing the 9 to 5 plus my own business. So for the most part, it was side by side. Like I would give it 50%, 50%. And then, well, I'd give the 9 to 5 60. I give my business 70 because I wasn't doing 100. I was doing like 130, 150.
Yeah.
And then it slowly shifted where I was doing like 100 for my business, and then whenever they needed me, I would do work for them to the point where it's just like it just got all in. Like there's nothing stopping me from going all in.
That's exactly
So
what
it was like that was like a safety net where, all right, if no work don't come in, at least I know I have a 9 to 5 that
Yeah.
is going to pay me monthly no matter what I do.
Yeah.
And then that got rid of that safety net and we kind of snowballed after that.
Yeah, that's a serious mindset shift. The mindset from employee to entrepreneur, business owner, freelancer. I was talking to a guy today, literally today, and he said, Jano, it's like, you know, things are a little slow now, and you know, it make him worried because he must say, oh, Jano, should you go get a job? I'm like, bro, part of the game, part of the life we choose is a little bit of uncertainty. Which kind of push you to grind, push you to grow. Cause if you don't make no money, nobody now pay you nothing. You don't have a salary.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that mindset shift to freelance to hiring people, it's an ironically beautiful thing. Like it's a double-edged sword because you have people working for you, have people that you're providing employment a source of income for, but then you're the person that is providing that. You get me? So you have to ensure that at the end of the month, a lot of times, months after months after months, I'm not able to
You
pay
don't
myself.
get paid, but your
employees
people
always come first. I have to pay my employees first, and then I get whatever is left. I know, hopefully, that can pay my rent or whatever. You know, ask help from my friends, whatever. But I always put my employees first, and it's a double-edged sword because you feel proud that you're able to give people employment, but then at the end of the day, if your cash flow is sticky, you know what I mean? I'm not going to put myself before the people that have put their trust in me to ensure that they're getting paid every month. You get me?
That's facts. That's I mean.
This is a good. Hopefully, I'm not cutting
No,
you
go
off.
ahead.
This is a good place to ask a question about team building. How do you prioritize? How do you pick what qualities to look for when you're deciding to expand? If you're looking for when you look for that first editor, what qualities did you look out for specifically?
All right, so I think for me, personality is a big part of it. Skill level is up there as well, but personality plays a bigger role than your skill level because everything that I've learned on the internet, I've learned by people around me. It's not
Skill set
can be taught.
Yeah.
But personality, a certain personality set can't be taught.
Yeah.
You have to want it.
Yeah.
Like you can't show up like it's a 9 to 5. You can't in production. You can't treat it like it's a 9 to 5. You have to want it. You have to be creative. You have to actually want to create. If you don't have that mindset, it don't make sense. You could be the best editor, but you only edit when you feel like it. You're not gonna work out.
Yeah. So I'm in the phase now where I'm hiring other freelancers, not necessarily full-time employees yet. And you're right, because one of the things that irritate me is somebody who don't put in no kind of homework. Like they have no interest to go out and improve themselves. Like every time they come on set, I have to explain what ISO is or how to adjust aperture or whatever. It's like, bro, these are simple things. If you had some interest and you put some extra time in, you know.
Trust me, we get lost sometimes as business owners that we expect persons to put in the same amount of effort into our business as we do.
Facts.
We can't expect that.
Facts.
But we can expect them to
Some
care
interest,
about
yeah.
their personal growth.
Yeah, some
and
interest.
once their personal growth is aligned with where your company is going, then that is something that is like a key factor for me. Because skills, editing, these stuff can be taught. In 6 months period, you can learn my editing style, my workflow, how we fit in this, how we shoot, you get me?
Yeah.
But the drive to learn, that is something
Yeah.
you have to come with. It
Yeah,
has to
and,
be
and
innate.
and it don't have to be at your level because I mean, for you running the company, you're involved in the pre-production, the production, the post-production, and the client and the accounting and all that kind of stuff. They don't need to necessarily. It'd be great, but you're not asking for that level of commitment. But if you're the editor, bro, improve your craft. Get better. Play with some stuff, throw some ideas at me. Push beyond what even me think capable possible. That is the ideal team member in my mind.
For the longest while, I was the best person at everything in my company. I never liked that.
Yeah.
I wanted persons to be better than me at specific things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the best at everything because then I'm stretching myself too thin, and then now I don't have.
And you
that
feel like if you
confidence
pass
delegate.
off, a job, you feel like it's a little bit less quality,
Less, yes,
right?
exactly.
Now you want to have the confidence, say, yo, this brother going wow me,
Yeah.
That I think that's the ideal.
We definitely have some roles now that I'm not the best at, which I'm proud of to say that I have team members that are better than me at this, and then I have no problem delegating stuff like that.
Good, I like that. All right, so talk to me about client interaction and scaling a company, because there's a couple of problems or obstacles I run into. There's equipment, right? Obviously, it'd be nice if we could buy every single thing that we needed. So I think we have to figure out how to leverage renting when we need to rent, and then knowing when, all right, probably time to buy this now. So how you navigate that?
All right, so in terms of expanding and acquiring equipment, I really measure that in two ways. One, will it make me more money, or will it make working right now more efficient? Which basically the same thing. Will it make more money? And if it doesn't, then it don't make sense. So a new monitor with the latest features might be fancy, it might be shiny,
Yeah, it might feel
make
cool,
sense, it
yeah.
might feel cool,
Yeah.
but is this new monitor going to make me any more money? No. Is the monitor that I have now working? Yes. Will this new lens make me more money? Probably. I can probably take on more real estate shoots because I have a wider lens now. So that kind of consideration where return on investment. Because if you get into the trap of just buying gear because it's shiny and it's the newest,
And it's new, yeah.
you end up in a rabbit hole.
I'm in that. I'm with you on that because, I mean, I shoot Sony mostly. I don't really care. It's just Sony is just what works for me. So I work with Sony. So my current main cameras are FX30s, right? And everybody talking about FX3 and full frame and blah. I'm like, I don't really see it making me more money, right? There's never been a case where I'm like, I mean, maybe 1%. I'm like, yeah, I wish I had that 12,800 ISO. But in most cases, the difference between APS-C and full frame doesn't bother me, right? I've never had a client look at me and say, oh, I can tell that's not full frame. Right.
Yeah.
I've always had people say, "Oh, I love it." But if there is critique, it's never around gear. It's
Definitely.
probably around skill set.
100%. Because a lot of times we focus on gear and think that a new camera is going to make us better, but in reality, it's that thirst for knowledge and getting better at your craft that will make you get better. And the same kind of thing that you were talking about a while ago, where the upgrade might not make sense to you. And for us, the longest while, the upgrade never makes sense because we weren't doing like night events, so that extra base ISO never made no sense. But it does now because we're doing more night events or later, so that we need that extra range of ISO because we don't have the lights on set or whatever it is. So we are looking to make that switch from the FX30 to the FX3.
Right,
and that's because it will make back money.
Exactly, because that now improve your workflow and improve your quality.
Improve the quality, yeah.
And you can't argue with that. So for me, it's like if I hear about a new piece of gear or new camera come out, new lens come out, I look at it, I watch a review, I put it in my cart, and I don't pull the trigger. I wait, and I'm like, after 2 days, that shiny feeling, that
kind of weird on,
it kind of weird. I'm like, and then the logic kick in. I'm like,
I don't need a $700 monitor right now.
Definitely don't need that.
But it's not only making more money now, because as I say, it's two parts. So it's either make you more money or make you more comfortable while working.
Yeah.
So all right, this headphones might be expensive, but it's way more comfortable. I can wear it longer in the sun, that kind of thing. It'll make working less stressful. So it's not just will it make me more money, it's will I be more comfortable while making the money I'm currently making. If it's not doing any of those two things, if it's just shiny, if it's just new, then we try to stay away from it. I mean, not perfect. Sometimes you just buy stuff because it has that, it grabs you. But yeah.
And there is something to say about, there is something to be said about liking your gear, like liking what you're shooting on, right? I remember when I was considering to get my first, cinema camera or dedicated video camera, my brethren, who I consider my mentor, Marvin Bartley, A-class photographer, but he said he had Lumix. And he was saying, Lumix S5 II is a great camera and blah blah blah, and then so I was looking at S5 II and I was looking at the FX30 and I'm like, I like the FX30. I mean, image quality wise, you're not going to go wrong either way. But I just like the FX30 and I still like it. And so whenever I get to shoot with it, I feel good. I know my camera ins and outs and it feels like something I can grow with.
Yeah, I think that's important as a creative, having your tools feel exciting.
Yeah.
Make it excited to work. Or it feels less like work because it feels like toys, because you actually enjoy using it, versus something that could have been more expensive, but it just doesn't fit your shooting style. It doesn't fit how you want to use a camera. So now you have something that's more expensive, but you rarely use it because you don't take it up that much because it's too cumbersome to use.
Exactly. And I've bought things that sit on my shelf. Like legit, like for example, I bought the Rode Podcaster Pro.
You don't use it.
And I used it on one shoot. And it just sit down there, gathering those look pretty.
That's me with a slider, that GVM slider, like probably 4 years ago. I was like, yo, $7, alright? Save up and buy the slider, use it on one shoot.
Yeah. I have a slider too.
I haven't used it
I
again
probably
after
used
that.
about 3 times or 4 times.
Yeah.
It's like,
I want to roll the clock back a little bit because for the benefit of our listeners and viewers, I want to take us back to the beginning. Take us through the emotions you felt when you popped your first client cherry. What was that like when you first client?
Yeah.
It's
Take us through the emotions of popping that client cherry.
yo, every time, you're not gonna believe this. I started off doing photography first, and I was just doing it for fun. I had somebody by Treasure Beach, and they were doing some sort of thing with some kids, and I don't remember exactly what it was. The lady in charge saw that I was doing it for fun, and was just like, "Hey, I have my kid's birthday party coming up. Can you come take some photos for us? You know what I mean? I'll pay. You can send me an invoice." At that time, I've never sent an invoice before. I don't know how much you charge. So I'm asking everybody that I know that does photography, like, how much I'm going to charge for this. Come up with a rate, send her an invoice. I go to the shoot. I take the pictures. I feel like I get in everything. I'm interacting with the kids. I get in shots of the kids, that kind of thing. I go home. I spend like an hour, 2 hours editing the photos, like going through meticulously, balancing exposure, all of that color. I send them over. And she's just like, very disappointed. She's like, I took better photos than this with my phone. I don't think I should be paying for this service. This is my first paid job, by the way. I don't think I should be paying for this service. That I said, all right, I won't take your money. I understand you feel disappointed by that, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to capture like your son's birthday party to the best. And I don't know how I continued after that, because most people, they would get that kind of feedback and just be
that's
like,
a hit, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't photo anymore.
It's just like, so after you got that feedback, you were just like, I guess I'll keep doing this.
After that feedback, first I apologized because she was dissatisfied with the service. I apologized. I never take the money from the person. But after that, I just kind of went back to doing photos for fun. And as I said, video editing, I was doing that always in the back. So I had video editing to kind of lean on. But yeah,
that happened
for a little bit.
That happened to me not early in my career, but I mean, it was late enough in my career that I thought I was good, right? In my head, I was like, I'm decent. I'm not like, top quality, but I'm decent. And I did an event, photography. Again, I don't love photography. I'll do it if I have to, but I'm not. It's not my first love. Did the shoot, same thing. Edit photos, send off photos, and the client hit me back with, I don't love these. This isn't, like, I'm really disappointed. This isn't what I had expected. And I'm like, I mean, I'm looking at, because I use flash and everything, and exposure look good. So I'm like, look good to me. So now I start questioning. Obviously, me not have a good taste for what look good. And for like, I feel like for the whole week, bro, I was so depressed. Like I had jobs I need to edit, and I
That's
just
rough.
can't get in the zone. And you know what happened? The lady messaged me back and said, "Oh, it looked like I didn't download the full res."
Oh, so it's a blurry picture.
So
that
she
she's
saw
looking
the
at,
blurry
the
stuff,
low-res
the
stuff
low
and
res
saying,
stuff, and I'm like, the whole week, I'm stressed out. Like
Man, stressed out the whole
like my
week.
workless.
I never have that redemption still. She just never like the photos.
Yeah.
She download them, look at them on her phone, on her computer, everything. She said she'll print them out and look at them,
Yeah.
and it's just...
And so on that topic, like, talk to me about some of the failures you've had, and maybe what the biggest lesson you got out of that.
I don't see it as failures.
Yeah,
I see
right.
it as lessons. So you really only fail if you give up. So if I had given up
Yeah.
after that feedback, then I would have said, yeah, fail at
That's a
photography.
failure, yeah.
But that is just lessons, just a stepping stone. It might sound cliche, like a lot of people say, oh, failures aren't failures, they're lessons.
Right.
But if you look at it that way, it really changes your mindset, because along that same vein, there's this video that said, your first 100 tries are going to suck, so hurry up and get them out of the way.
Yep.
So fail hard, fail fast,
Fail
because
fast.
that is how you learn. You learn by failing. Because if you do something good, what you really learn from that? You learn by making mistakes. You learn what not to do. I think knowing what not to do sometimes a little more important than knowing what to do, because you can mitigate the negatives by knowing, oh, all right, don't make this light too bright, because now the highlights on them skin is going to be blown out. You get me? So I think those mistakes that I've encountered are really just lessons,
Yeah.
stepping stones to get better and better.
Yeah, and on that same topic is like, there's this book called Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. He's one of my favorite writers, by the way, and he has this idea that he says, don't judge yourself when you're on your mountaintops, but also don't judge yourself when you're at the valley, because if you judge yourself in the valley, you're just going to feel like you're not good enough, you're worthless. And if you judge yourself on the peak, you feel like you're the shit and there's no further to go. So he says he actually likes when somebody on his team encounters their first failure first, like the first try fail, because now that puts you in a state of, what if you have the right attitude around it, you're like, what could I have done different? So throughout my fail, the things I failed at, or I guess you could call them obstacles, I look at it and say, all right, was it a skill set problem? Was it a mindset problem? Was it a tool problem? Right? So those are kind of the three categories I look at it, and I'm like, did I have the right tool for the job? Did I use the tool properly? Which is the skill set idea, because we do event photography sometimes, or event videography, and we're like, all right, shaky footage, what was wrong? Right? We're do we need a gimbal, or do we need to get better at handheld? Right? Or do we need a camera that has better IBIS, right? So you ask yourself those questions, and then I go through a list of solutions, right? So because once you identify the problem, if you need a gimbal, then maybe you need to save towards a gimbal. If you have a gimbal, maybe you need to figure out how to tune your gimbal properly, because I've had to do all of those things, right? Got the gimbal and think the gimbal automatically fix all the stability problems. But if you don't know how to tune your gimbal properly, then it's not as effective. So yeah, I think we're definitely on the same wavelength. Yeah.
Can I drop in like a novice question?
Sure.
Because I'm around guys like you, I see you guys, and you guys seem to be doing this stuff flawlessly, and I'm like, these guys must have had their 10,000 hours in locked. No, I'm like, how much mistakes do you allow before you get there? Because you guys are talking about making mistakes, but when it's mission critical stuff, right? Clients expect really solid turnaround. They expect a good quality. They don't want you to be taking photos on like you did when you were starting out. They expect a certain standard. How much failure rates do you allow before you're like, okay, we need to completely pivot because this is simply not working?
Well, To be honest, I think for me, I don't think anything comes before its time, because growing up or starting out, I always wondered, my work is good, but why am I not getting these big
The big
clients?
contracts,
Why
yeah.
am I not having these commercial shoots? Why am I not doing all this? And then the closer and closer I get to doing work like that, and the more and more I start getting smaller jobs that build up to medium jobs to larger jobs, I can look back in retrospect and say I was not prepared
Yeah, I
for
was
this at the
never
time.
ready,
I
yeah.
did not have the team, I did not have the equipment, I did not have the knowledge at the time to even execute this. I might, at the time, think that I had that kind of capacity to execute like a bigger job, like a big commercial.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm doing commercials like that, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a solid producer to get stuff like talents and location scouts. I don't have proper infrastructure. I don't have proper contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So now that I am looking back in retrospect, nothing before its time.
Right. So it goes back to the same concept of failing early, right? And I'm not saying you should go out and take the people in job and fail, but if you're starting with smaller projects, and I've said this a couple times, I believe in free work, because that's where you get your reps in. You know, you get to fail on something that's not mission critical. Like if I'm doing something for my brethren and it don't come out good, I can call him and say, it never come out the way they want it. So let me redo it, right? Because you redo it with some more information,
newfound
with some more
knowledge, yeah.
experience, right? And hopefully some evaluated experience that you can say, all right, lighting was poor here. Let me get a light or whatever it is. And like you said, even early in the game, even your mindset around how much to charge wasn't ready, because you'd have get the big contract and you'd have charge,
Trust me, that charge.
a little bit of money, and you wouldn't be able to hire the crew, hire the rent equipment and so on. So you have to go through the. I mean, obviously there's shortcuts. I think the only shortcut really and truly is learning from people who are ahead.
Yeah, so like a mentor. So that is another thing I was going to add to that is, if it's a situation where it is mission critical and you think you're not ready, ask people that have done it already.
Yeah.
Trust me, there are people that are willing to share knowledge just
Yeah.
What do you
because.
say to the people that don't know? Obviously not me, for me ask this but what do you say to the people who are scared to ask, or they feel they know someone who might be a little bit of ahead of them, and they want to ask, but they don't know how? What's the approach? We need the gems of how to approach.
So me personally, if someone that is asking me for advice comes to me with a question, I am 100% giving whatever advice I need. But if you come to me and ask me to tell you what to do, is a different thing. Because I can't learn for you. You
Yeah.
can't ask me where to start and I say, all right, here's a YouTube channel. We can watch these videos. It's great at explaining production. You can watch these videos and you're going to ask me which video to watch. I
Yeah.
gave you the roadmap. You just need to
Bro.
follow it now.
Because everything I learned, I mean, the guy I consider my mentor, he's a photographer first. I mean, he does videos well. But I shadowed, I asked questions, I did. But then when him start talking to me about aperture and ISO and shutter speed and how what those things affect, I'm like, I don't know what I say. I'm gonna go home the day.
Homework,
I'm
yeah.
gonna watch everything I can find on camera basics, right? And it turns out like YouTube is one of the best first place to learn. But then I think the best way is to get around people who are doing it and say, hey, me can't come with you up on a set. We just want to watch,
Yeah.
right? Me help you carrying the bag them. Me not charge you nothing. We just want to learn, right? Cause that's what I did. You know, networking and people, getting around people is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
And you're one of the people who inspire me, because here's why. I think the earlier generation of cinematographers, videographers in our country, maybe, at least from my experience, I could be wrong. Maybe I was just approaching the wrong people, but there was a lot of gatekeeping.
Oh, there is.
Right? There's a lot of gatekeeping. It's like they don't want to tell you nothing.
And let me tell you my theory on that. It's because when they started out, their barrier to entry was way higher than ours. So it
for
feels as
sure.
if they went to war to
Yeah.
get what they have
So they
right
have to
now, and
protect
we
it.
want to just
Slide in.
put our hand out and get that information or get that experience for free, which is different for us because we started off in like the digital age where everything
Right.
is online.
Everything
so if
online.
someone comes to me and asks me, I'm just like, I feel almost, what's the term I'm looking for? I feel like I need to give back. You get me?
Yeah, 'cause you got so much for free.
I got so much for free.
Yeah.
So I am just adding to that cycle. I'm adding to that group of YouTubers, that group of people that are giving up free information as my tribute, as my way of
As
saying,
they're saying thanks to the
thanks
people,
to the people
who did it,
gave
they're
me this
paying
for free.
forward. Yeah.
Paying it forward, exactly.
Yeah.
So and I feel like, but for out here in Jamaica or the older generation, it was a little harder for them. Like barrier to entry to get
Yeah.
a camera. They never had.
Yeah, I mean, even the cameras,
$1,500
bro.
Cameras.
Like my brethren telling me how much you pay for lights, but and I'm like,
They never
bro,
had
can't get,
$500, $200 lights like
Yeah,
this,
you get
lights,
me?
LED lights. They never
oh
had
man.
that.
I mean, what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
In the industry, right?
Yeah, so-
1200 watt lights with $2,500, crazy.
Crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
Piggybacking off the there needs to be some sort of goodwill for you guys to share this sort of energy, this information, this advice. How do you both of you decide on how you approach free work? Not just free advice for people who shadow you, free work, or as we discussed in the last episode, like portfolio building experiences. How do you decide, now that you guys are busy, you have paying clients, how do you decide, okay, this is something I'm going to do that would add to my portfolio? How do you decide?
Because I love what I do, I try to separate business from pleasure, which would still technically be the same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Creating. I create for work and I also create as a
fun,
hobby.
yeah.
So how I separate the two is I create stuff for myself. No client, no person over my shoulder saying, hey, do this, you have to do this right, you have to add the lower third here, put the logo on the screen for 4 seconds. I have no one over my shoulder saying that because I am the creator. I'm the director, the producer. I am everything. So when I have that separation, I get to create my best work because I'm not trying to interpret somebody's vision. I'm not trying to fit within brand guidelines. I'm not trying to create for somebody else. I'm creating what's in my head.
Yeah, and you're experimenting and trying
you
out
get
things
to
that
bring
you'd
out
like
these
to try.
ideas that you have in your mind, which is a lot more effective than trying to translate someone else's ideas. And I've even implemented this at my company where every month we draw straws, and whoever get the shortest straw has to use the entire month and use the entire team to create some sort of production.
Wicked. I saw that post.
So we've gone about, I think, 5 months now, and we have about five persons on the team, the various type of videos. We did a product video for like a random beverage that Orese wanted to do. We did a short film last month that we're actually going to be posting on the page soon, where Shaquille directed. Yeah. So
You?
So we'll have that kind of energy where there's no client. I tell them, don't worry about budget, either come to me. As long as we can find it in the account, I'll spend. Because even on my initial project that I did for a spec ad, I think we spent like 200, 300 grand out of pocket, and there was no foreseeable
No
return
income
on investment. It was not like, I'm doing this,
That's
I'm
the
paying
one with the- that's the one
$200
with the
a baby.
KW Boom?
Yeah, KW
Yeah.
Boom Box. I wasn't
Love that one.
expecting payment from them. I never got any payment from them. So it was literally just a passion project, and I never allowed budget to limit me because when I was just starting off, I was so concerned about getting stuff and having the funds to get stuff.
Yeah,
I now
it wasn't
have the
that option.
funds.
Yeah.
So why am I going to now limit myself because I'm not getting paid for it? So we did. And funny thing about that is that landed us a commercial for almost $4 million.
It's crazy.
So
And
just
that don't even surprise me.
believing in an idea
Yeah.
translated into financial gain. So I try to separate the two in terms of when I'm doing something for myself, I don't get no clients involved. It's just me, it's just me and my team, me and the equipment that all they have. Or sometimes I even pay extra money and rent new equipment to try new stuff because, as you said, it's not mission critical. You don't have somebody's money on the line.
Yeah. So you get to learn the mistake
learn the mistakes now.
on your dime, so that when you go on somebody else's project,
You have the experience. You have and a lot of times clients say they want something, they say they want something out of the box. And then you show them a reference or something out of the box and say, oh, no, not like that. So it's better you create something and they'll come. Create it and they'll come.
Yeah. So because when you show what you did, people are like, I would never have thought of that concept, but I want that.
But I want that. That's exactly what happened. The marketing manager from a big company out here saw it and was just like, we have a campaign coming up. We want something creative like that. Can you guys create this for me? Like, come up with a concept, come up with storyline, storyboard, pre-production, everything, and just
Yeah. And so how I kind of approach free work is similar. I like I start with doing things that I like, right? So if I like that kind of company or person, and I believe in the mission or whatever it is, and I can visualize myself enjoying the process of doing that shoot, then that's something I'll consider. And then I'm thinking about, is this going to stretch me in any way? Because if personally for me, if it don't have any stretch factor, then I don't know if I'm gonna have the as much interest in it, right? I want it to stretch me. I want to figure out, all right, how do I get that particular shot or that particular look, right? You mentioned shot deck and eye candy and so many other reference. I'll literally go on that, find a shot, and figure out how the heck can I, with my limited budget, try to replicate a Hollywood shot, right? And that's for me is fun. That for me is interesting, and that pushes you to grow. Yeah.
100%.
All right. So can we talk bread? Can we talk bread?
Yeah. I mean, well, so let's get into some numbers without you having to talk about numbers if you're not comfortable. But how do you because at some point you're charging money and you feel good about it, but then at some point you start to grow and you're like, your skill sets improve, your gear and crew improve, your team improve, and you're like, I feel like we need to be charging more now.
All right, so when I had just started off and I was doing freelance, a lot of my second guessing in terms of costing and how I priced my services was really skill based. Like I wasn't confident enough in my skills to price and be confident about it. I'm at the point where I am worth this much, my company is worth this much. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. At one time, it was I wanted every client to come to me to be able to pay for my services.
Yeah.
Not everybody is a target demographic. I personally can't pay for the services that I am giving. I'm not my target demographic. I'm not paying 500 grand for a video. That's just me.
It's crazy.
That's just me. I'm not.
I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, when I'm doing stuff for myself, I'm using my phone because it's like that's what that's what me can afford.
Yeah.
For
so
me,
I'm not my target demographic. So I stopped using what I can afford to price myself. I use what I'm worth and the value that I'm bringing to the company to price myself. So if I know that this commercial or this video will give you a good return on investment and this is how much it's going to cost me, that's just how much it's priced.
Yeah.
I personally, at the stage I'm at, might not be able to afford probably a 500, 600 grand commercial for my personal brand. And that is completely fine. I am not selling services to me or my demographic. You get me? So in terms of pricing, when I just started out, I was very hesitant to tell persons my price because I was like, oh, I hope they accept and I hope it's not too low. Sometimes you say, oh, all right, I'll do this photo shoot for you for $15,000. I'm like, okay, great, I'll send you the money right now. I say,
shit, we could have charged
I should charge him 30.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you say, you really want a job because there's a company that you want to work with and you say 200 and I'm say, oh, our budget is only 100. And then
you feel weird for go back and say,
what is the justification to cut it down half?
Exactly.
You get me?
Yeah.
So sometimes I used to have that kind of dilemma where it's just like, pricing was always an uncomfortable thing for me.
Yeah.
Right now, I have a price sheet. I have an internal price sheet that anybody on the directors, the board of directors or our production manager can look at that sheet and send a quotation based on some factors. You know how production kind of varies based on like the level of production you want to do. But we'll have a standardized set of prices that we can formulate production costs out.
And you can outline, and because one of the good things about pricing and maybe a price sheet or however you want to do it is you have to be confident enough in it that you can justify it to somebody who say, all right, explain to me why you charge this.
You know,
right?
At the end of the day, I'm not doing that. I'm not justifying my prices.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Here's why I say that. Some of the times it's not that they are against the price, because I've had that instances where, because they, for example, they've worked with somebody who is at an earlier stage. I don't want to say they're amateur, but at an earlier stage in the career, maybe not as skilled, and they charge less, which is normal. So now they're looking to level up, and for some reason they came to you, and you're charging X amount more than the typical person. So some of the times they just want to understand, all right, you're better, but is it a skill set thing? Is a gear thing? And I don't even go into gear with clients. I'm like, all right, so based off of the experience that I have, based off of the problems that I've solved for my clients, this is why I charge what I charge.
Yeah.
Because it's just the mindset that I'm confident enough in my pricing that I know I can deliver. If you want to find somebody cheaper, go for it. I can deliver at that price, not confidently, and that's where, cause that's for me. You invest in gear that you know going hold up, right? You know, you invest in your lights because this have some track record. And you know, push come to shove, you're good, right? And so somebody else who has a cheaper light or a cheaper mic or a cheaper camera, whatever it is, they're not there yet. And so because you're investing in reliability, you're investing in quality, you know you can hold your own in a conversation about your price.
Yeah. That's just like me personally. If I send you a quote and you can't afford it, you just can't afford it.
Yeah.
But it's broken up in line items. So if all of a sudden you don't want drone footage anymore, you can
Yeah, we
us to
can
take
tell
it
it out,
off.
yeah.
But you're not gonna ask me if I can charge.
You know, I
less for
learned
drone
that
footage.
hard way. Again, I'm like everything I learned, I kind of had to figure it out on my own. Sometimes I can bounce ideas off other people, but I started out sending invoices and quotes for like bigger projects, just cinematography, 300,000, right? And when they say that, they're like, they don't even know what the word cinematography mean. So you're like, so they're like, no, this costs too much money. But when you break it down, you're like, X for this, X for camera package, X for lighting, X for gaffer, whatever it is. All of a sudden now they start saying, oh, this is like a 5-man
how much
crew.
yeah.
This is
It's,
department.
unlocking some stuff for me,
Yeah.
because if you break down for me as a random person what it is that you're providing in terms of gear
Yeah.
and services, now I can say,
Yeah.
These are
So
the
now
ones-
they're seeing that, oh, this person well thought out. Him, at least him know where him a come with. Now me feel more confidence in this
Yeah,
person.
100%. So I don't. I guess when I just start off, I had that, but I break it out into line items. Sometimes for bigger clients, I try not to break it down into too
many.
specific.
Yeah. Because then they'll
now
start
they try
nitpicking.
and it's like,
I don't need three lights.
why we need a second AC for this? I'm like,
Yeah.
you want your commercial or not?
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea, though. So. I mean, and that's why I said, in terms of justifying, is not really to get them to say yes to the price. It's just for them to understand that everything I put on that invoice is thought out, and I want a first AC because I know I'll get the shot I want. I'll get the focus. We have one shot. We want to be efficient. We don't want to take 3 days to shoot this thing.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to charge.
Yeah.
Can we go rapid fire question?
All right.
Yeah.
You cool with that?
Yeah. Rapid fire. Let's
Alright.
let's game 3.
I want to ruffle some feathers. What brand was the worst to work with?
So in terms of
you can decline if you don't want to answer. But
no, I gotta give
Maybe not
names.
call the name, yeah.
I'm not gonna give names, but
Yeah.
not necessarily the brand, because brand is
Big.
multiple people. It's a company with multiple.
If you
persons.
interface with one person,
Yeah,
it's not
but it was
necessarily the brand.
one specific person I interfaced with that they just felt like they knew everything and you weren't able to give them counsel. Like, you're not paying me just to come and set up my camera. You're paying me for my advice, for my expertise, for my knowledge. I could just rent the camera if that's what you want, you get me? So if you come and set and you are not taking heed to any advice, or everything has to be your way, it's a little difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. The know-it-all guys irritate me.
Yeah, like you hired us for a reason. Please, why? If
I had this Bridget tell me, say, I could do it myself. I could just buy a camera and do it myself. And then honestly, I was maybe the most unprofessional I've ever been. I'm like, go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Block him. It's like, because I give you a price and you tell me, oh, why you charge so much?
Video more shit, though.
Yeah. And that's like, honestly, bro, I stay away from music videos.
Or I don't shoot music videos.
You have to be like,
unless you're a big artist, I don't shoot.
Yeah, you have no. I stay away from it.
One time that was my bread and butter still,
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying to Shaquille, most.
Boss, man.
Yeah, I said to Shaquille, most videographers start out in the music industry.
Yeah. I was charging 50 grand to shoot and edit a music video. Shoot and edit.
Yeah,
over 2 days.
You know what hours of editing.
Bro, I risked my life for 50 grand, bro.
Some corner I work.
Some corner with beer man stand up away for gun at the camera. I say, one of them gun go off.
Brother.
Raps.
Yo.
So yeah,
So, next question. Feedback you hated hearing,
make it pop.
but but ultimately it worked out for the best.
As I had said in one of my Spark Series workshops, that creative, constructive criticism is good. Constructive criticism is good. Sometimes that creative, you don't want to hear it because
Bro,
it puts
I
so much.
struggled.
You put so much work and effort into something. You don't want to hear say, "Oh, the white balance off" or this or whatever, whatever. But being open to the eyes and the thought processes of other persons is healthy. It's
I
hard.
struggled in the beginning. I
Yeah.
do a video and they're like, no, I don't like that shot. That is like, can you remove that? And I'm like, yeah, but there's no problem with it. You get me? But it's not my project. You know? And so I had to learn.
I feel big on my girlfriend because enough times I will show her like the first draft or something or show her the rough, and she'll give me some good advice as to how to fix it. But in the moment, you're kind of flustered and
Yeah.
you're kind of annoyed.
Yeah,
You're just
'cause me
like,
an expert.
yo, this is sick.
Yeah, what you talking about?
What you say? But she is the viewer. She's
Yeah.
someone who is consuming the content.
Yeah, man, my wife cussed me when I send off a video and don't show her.
Yeah.
And usually, that is the one where we get the most changes on.
Yeah.
Because
She's seen it from a different
eye.
perspective.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing it as creative, they're seeing it as consumers. So when my girlfriend sees it and she's able to point out like little things that could make me better, sometimes she's kind of shy to say it because she don't want me feel offended. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate her for it because that kind of courage to tell somebody that their work can be better is something that I appreciate because it 99% of the time it does make it better. I'll
Yeah.
rewatch it after the second draft and be like,
Yeah, you know, you have a point.
yeah, you're
But
right.
you're right.
Some ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, on that same topic is like, if you look at company structures, there's a reason why bigger companies separate things. Like you have HR, you have accounts, you have public relations, you have legal, and when you start working in corporate, you will find that a video has to kind of go through an approval process because HR like it or marketing like it, but then legal have to see it and make sure say them not have no issues with it. You get me? And so some of the time you have to go through that process internally with you and you have to think about, all right, would this cause any problem? Would this cause even the thing that you did with KW Bloom, the director's cut that you mentioned, you liked it, right? But then did it represent the brand in the best light? Probably.
Probably not.
You know. So yeah. Last one.
So the last question, is a bit heady and it's very, very relevant now. With social media platforms evolving rapidly with trends in short form spaces, algorithm shifts and all of that, what trends do you see shaping your businesses in the next maybe 5 to 10 years with things shifting in social media online, expectations for video production? Where do you see your business going in the next 5 to 10?
All right, where I see kinematics going in the next 5 to 10 years. Ideally, into virtual production. That's where I want to head, but with this social media space and what's happening with artificial intelligence and all of that, I think we'll have to be early adopters or we're going to get left behind.
Move fast.
Yeah, because it is something that it's not leaving. It's not going to change.
It's at the worst. It's
at
ever
the
going
worst.
to be.
It's ever going to be. It's only getting better from now. You remember that video of Will Smith eating pasta? It has gotten significantly better. So at this point, if you are working against it, you're working against your growth because it's just one of the things in little ways if you can find to utilize it, as long as it's not your basis of your business. If you're not a tech business that is creating AI products, I don't think your business should be based on an AI foundation.
But you have to figure out how to
You have to
use
figure out
it.
how to use it as tools, how to supplement your processes, how to make you more efficient as a business. I think it's a great tool in different ways. In terms of AI video generation and stuff like that, I'm still on the fence about it, where I see how it makes sense and I've used it before, but to fully lean into it and do the full-on productions with just AI, then it's kind of...
I mean, maybe it'll get there, but it takes away the human element,
human
the
touch
soul.
of it,
It takes away the soul, I think. Because, I mean, it's getting so good that you have to really peep to find that this is AI generated.
Bro, I've been seeing some of those AI/real videos. Like it have one half is AI, one half is real. At one point I could get it 100% right.
No,
I'm
bro.
getting like 50, 60%. Like
Yeah.
it's at that point where some of the videos look so real. It's Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to figure out how to use it, and here's because you have to pay attention to history to know how to not repeat the failures. When LED video lights were coming out, all the HMI guys were like, "Oh, that'll never catch on. Oh, no way LED can replace your R8 big old HMIs." And now, like, how often you see an HMI on set?
Yeah.
You
true.
know. And same thing with camera. When cameras were going to mirrorless versus DSLR, everybody's like, "Oh, I'll never use a mirrorless camera." Look at where we are in the future. So we have to be mindful as persons who've kind of adopted our current workflow and our current reality, that we have to be willing to we have to be open to, all right, the future is coming. Don't get left behind.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end. So thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the Bitrate podcast. Some gems were dropped, so I hope you paid attention. So catch us in the next episode.
Next episode.